Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about timesheet. Particularly, I am planning to discuss about the question like whether the timesheet is really useful for the employees. Okay, that is the key point I am going to discuss in this video. Okay. Actually, I have been selling a timesheet for many years. We developed our timesheet using PHP and MySQL many years back, okay? And we are improving it regularly. And a lot of people are using our timesheet, and we are putting a lot of efforts to promote our timesheet through social media and other ways, okay? So what I'm trying to say is I'm a bit familiar with timesheet, okay, from developer's perspective as well as from employees' perspective, even employers' perspective, okay. Because before starting this company, I was working in various other companies. So at that time, I used to fill timesheet as an employee, okay. So I'm saying that I can understand the feelings from various perspective, okay. Apart from that, whenever I promote our timesheet through social media, I used to see the comments made by a lot of employees as well as timesheet developers and employers. Okay, so whenever I read that kind of comments, immediately the one question that comes to my mind is whether the timesheet is really useful for the employees. Okay, who are selling the timesheet and who are is going to implement the timesheet, their main key agenda is it will be really useful for the employees for like improving their performance as well as for paying them properly. That kind of points are always given for promoting the timesheet. But whether it's really and practically whether it's really useful for the employees, that is a big question, because that's what I understand from the social media comments made by a lot of employees. Okay, uh, the key problem is like so. First of all, before going into the problem, if someone is not familiar with timesheet, I will be just explaining the concept of timesheet. I already talked a lot about timesheet for promoting our timesheet. You can see the previous video. You may find that I will be providing the link for that video in the description of this video. Okay. Anyway, I will just give the overview of the timesheet in this video also, so that anyone who is not familiar with timesheet can watch this video further. Okay. So basically, the timesheet is being used by the companies for many years. Okay, it was there in the paper format, and then it was there in the Excel spreadsheets, and the people started using like creating macros to improve the effectiveness of the timesheet with the Excel spreadsheet. And then the desktop-based applications came, then web-based timesheet software came. Now a lot of cloud applications available, and even a lot of people are using mobile-based timesheet applications. Okay, it's growing in various platforms. Okay, but the concept is always same. Okay, so it's nothing but tracking the employees' work hours. Okay, so by specifying their projects also. So it's a combination of date, employee, and project. For this combination, that means that date, employee, project combination, getting the details about how many hours they work, whether it's a normal work hours or overtime OT, and some comments. This is a very fundamental idea behind the timesheet. Okay, and it's mostly it's used for various purposes, like it can be used for assigning work for the employees. That is one perspective of timesheet. And another is for client billing purpose. Say for example, if you are having three employees in your company and you are working for another client, and if you want to charge for the work, the clients will be asking you to send the invoice, right? So basically, you can use the timesheet report for that purpose. Okay, so the clients will be going through the number of work hours, and they will be paying for that. Okay, so it's another perspective of timesheet. Okay, And apart from these the two basic things, okay, the timesheet is having a lot of other advantages. There is no question about it. Okay, so it can be useful for tracking the employee attendance. Okay, so whether they were working full time or whether they have taken any leave, or at the year end, how many days they have taken leave, and whether they were how many hours they spent for training, and which project is most effective for which employee. That kind of informative information will be really useful if we are using the timesheet properly. There is no question about it. But the major purpose currently is for billing purpose and for like uh, employee attendance system like that. Okay, so that are the two major things of timesheet. Okay, but the question is like, so the people who are saying that the timesheet is useful for employees are arguing that the timesheet is forcing the employers to get the overtime details from the employees. So if anyone who is working overtime, they need to book it under the overtime. So mostly in many countries, the overtime work hours need to be paid with some additional amount, maybe 1.5 times, okay, of normal time. Okay, so basically it will be very useful for employees, so they will be properly paid. Okay, that was the argument made by the people who are supporting that timesheet will be useful for employees. Okay, but in practically, as I said, mostly the employers are forcing the people to enter the timesheet. I'm not sure whether they will be booking the time exactly. Okay, so I don't know whether any mechanism available to get the exact details about overtime and normal time. Okay, so most of the employees will be following the instructions of employers. That is one thing. So um, practically, the timesheet is mostly used for like forcing the employees to engage their time fully with the project works. Okay, it's kind of like it's a modern day slavery kind of stuff. That was the impression made by a lot of other people. That was the feeling we can observe from the employees if we go through their social media discussions. Okay, but anyway, we cannot deny the other perspective also. As I said, it's really helpful in some situations, like for making sure that the employees are getting properly for the overtime they worked. Okay, but still, it's like depending on various conditions and depending on the country as well as the company, how it's going to deal it. So just I would like to get the details, more details about these things. So just feel free to share your comments, share your thoughts. Mostly share your own experience through the comment section. Or if you are hesitating to share it through comments publicly, maybe you can send the details to my email ID. Okay. Actually, I'm planning to develop a, either new kind of timesheet application, or I am planning to completely rework the current timesheet. Okay, so in that time period, I will be going through this feedback, and I will be trying to implement to address those things. Okay, that is the thing I would like to talk with this video in this video. Um, but again, the very, very basic question is still there, whether the timesheet is really useful. Maybe it is for employer or it is for employees. Say, for example, uh, it's taking a significant time for the employees to enter the time, right? So even the employer has to spend significant time for creating projects, other stuff. Okay, whether that time spent is really worth, that is another question. Okay, so instead of just doing it as a formality, we have to think that perspective also. Okay, But as I said, in ideal condition, it's really useful. So there is no question about it. Okay, if the employer is properly creating the projects and assigning it to properly to the employees, and the employees are going through the assignment and working based on that assignment, and if they're putting the hours, actual hours properly, definitely it is going to help in various perspectives for improving the performance of employees and doing the future project allocation properly, and even for measuring the performance of the project. So which projects we need to give more attention in the future. That kind of advantages always there. But my question is not about the ideal situation. So what I'm thinking about is the practical situation. How in real time, how it's being used, whether it's really helpful, whether the people are exactly following this timesheet, and whether they're entering it daily basis or weekly basis. If they're entering weekly basis, means how they are keeping their entire week work schedule. That kind of stuff always, questions always rise. Okay, and yeah, that's a key thing. Whether in practical ways, whether the timesheet is really useful. If it is useful, whether it's really useful for the employees particularly. That's the key thing. Okay. So just share your thoughts. It will be useful for tuning our timesheet application. Okay. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel for watching more videos. And if you want to develop any kind of PHP MySQL script, just contact me. I will be doing it for affordable price. Okay. Mm, yeah. Uh, if you are doing any manual complex operations, it is better to automate that. Okay. So definitely the PHP MySQL, that platform, it's really powerful and useful. It's open source software, so it's not going to cost you anything. Okay, apart from paying for my work hours. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Bye.